stop scrolling right now. Archangel Michael protecting your household from a generational curse. The secret no one told you before will be revealed. This moment has been divinely appointed. You did not stumble here by accident. You were drawn, led, and pulled by the unseen hand of heaven to hear what must now be revealed. There is a whisper in the spirit that has followed you, a restlessness inside you that will not quiet, and that is because your name has been written into this hour. Archangel Michael, the warrior of heaven, stands with his sword drawn and his shield lifted over your household. He is not here for every home, not here for every family, but he is here for yours, right now, in this moment. There is a generational curse that has traced your bloodline. It has stalked your family tree, reaching from one branch to the next, waiting for a moment of weakness to attach itself again. Cycles of loss, sudden endings, betrayals, hidden griefs, they have not been random. They have been markers, signs that something has been following. Yet heaven interrupts today. Heaven says no more. The assignment of darkness has been noted, and the commander of God's army steps in. This word is not for the many. It is not for the ones who will pass by without a second thought. It is for the one whose heart is pounding as these words are spoken. It is for the one who feels the weight of battles they cannot name. It is for the one who hears the echo inside. Something unseen is fighting me. This is your confirmation. You have been chosen to hear what others never will. But hear this truth. Silence opens the way. Stillness unlocks the revelation. Obedience gives the key. What will be revealed is not for the distracted, not for the rushing, but for the one who pauses, listens, and receives. Heaven does not waste words. And now, in this mystery, in this urgency, in this very moment, the shield of Michael rises against the curse that dared to touch your name. Type "I am covered" in the comments if you receive this word. Blessing code 7744 is now surrounding your household. Before this night ends, something in the spirit realm will shift. Heaven has placed a pause upon your life in this very moment, commanding you to stop scrolling, to still your hands, to silence the noise, and to hear this divine interruption. You did not arrive here by curiosity. You were summoned here. Your name is etched in the heavens, and because of that, this message has been dispatched into your path. The Archangel Michael, the warrior prince of God, is rising now with fire in his wings and the blade of justice in his hand. He has been released on assignment, and his eyes are upon your household. Understand this. When Michael appears, it is never casual. His presence signals war, and where there is war, there is also imminent victory. Your home has been marked as a battlefield in the unseen, and Michael has come to stand in the gap. His shield stretches wide to cover your children, your spouse, your generations yet unborn. His sword strikes against the serpent that slithered through your family line, the curse that was whispered long before you were born. The heavens did not overlook it, though people may have dismissed it. What men ignored, the Lord recorded. Something hidden in your family's story is now surfacing. For years, it moved in silence. For years, it lingered in shadows. It showed up in sudden betrayals, in repeated failures, in unexplained blockages. It dressed itself as coincidence, but it was never coincidence. It was assignment. And this is why heaven has stopped you here. Because tonight, the secret no one told you before will be revealed. The silence breaks, the veil lifts, and your eyes will see what your spirit has already sensed. This message is not for the multitude. It is for the chosen. It is for those who carry battles they never began, who suffer wars they cannot explain, who feel heaviness that is not their own. It is for you, the one who feels like your life has been stalked by a shadow. And hear me, you are not crazy. You are not weak. You are not cursed beyond redemption. You are simply the target of a battle that proves how valuable your destiny is. For if you were nothing, the curse would never have bothered to follow you. The heavens are speaking now, saying, "Do not fear." The Archangel Michael stands at your gate, at your threshold, at the very doorway of your home. He is not only protecting you, he is dismantling what dared to threaten your bloodline. Before this night ends, a shift takes place. Before this night ends, the atmosphere changes. Before this night ends, the household covering is activated. This is the hour of divine reversal. This is the hour of heavenly defense. So I declare unto you, be still, for the war is already engaged. Be watchful, for your covering is already assured. And be ready, for what heaven is about to reveal will break cycles that have lasted generations. Type "I receive this shift" in the comments if this message resonates with your spirit. Blessing code 8833 has now been activated around you. There are patterns in your life that you have tried to explain away, but they will not be silenced. Strange cycles keep repeating themselves, leaving you in a state of confusion. Relationships that start in joy collapse suddenly without warning. Opportunities that seem certain evaporate overnight. Finances slip through your hands like water, no matter how much you save or how hard you work. It feels as though every step forward meets an invisible wall. Every smile hides a shadow, and every dream is stalked by interruption. These are not coincidences. These are the fingerprints of something ancient, something tied to your bloodline, something no one has dared to tell you before. You have felt the whispers. You have noticed how gossip seems to trail your name, how certain people speak fragments of your story as though guided by unseen watchers. It feels as though eyes are always on you, though you cannot explain why. This is not imagination. This is not paranoia. This is the echo of a curse that has long hunted your family line. It has passed through generations, wearing different faces but carrying the same intent: to disrupt, to dismantle, to destroy what God intended to flourish. You know the feeling, the inner unrest that refuses to quiet, the sense that you are carrying something that did not begin with you. It is as though chains have been placed in your hands before you were even born, chains forged by the struggles of ancestors, chains designed to keep you repeating what they endured. You feel the weight of their wars pressing on your shoulders, and deep inside you wonder, am I cursed? Why does this follow me? Why can't I escape what I never invited? And here is the truth. What you carry did not start with you. The strange heaviness that sits on your chest at night, the battles that arise without provocation, the losses that come in patterns. They are remnants of an old war. You are not the cause, but you are the chosen vessel through which this cycle will finally break. That is why your spirit has been restless, why you could not simply pass by this message. Something inside of you has always known. There is more going on than I can see. Your suspicion has been holy. Your questions have been divine. And now, heaven confirms, yes, something unseen has been following, but greater is the one who now stands to protect you. Archangel Michael, the warrior, has been dispatched because the battle has reached its climax. The curse has reached its end. The secret is about to be unveiled, and what was hidden is about to be exposed under heaven's light. The cycles you have endured are not signs of defeat, but signs that your breakthrough has been contested. The fact that the enemy has worked this hard against you proves the magnitude of your destiny. You are chosen to be the one who interrupts the curse and sets your lineage free. Do not despise the restlessness in your spirit. It is the voice of heaven waking you up to war. Type "I am breaking free" in the comments if this word ignites your spirit. Blessing code 9922 is now being released into your bloodline. Listen closely. What you have been facing is not random. It is not punishment. It is warfare tied to destiny. Generational curses are not simply dark clouds hovering without reason. They are spiritual inheritances, carried from one bloodline to the next, until someone chosen by heaven rises to break the chain. You have been called into this moment, not because you are forgotten, but because you are remembered. Heaven has kept your name in record, and now the time has come for confrontation. The battles you have faced did not begin with you. They began long before your birth, when agreements were made, when doors were opened, when covenants were broken. Some of your ancestors carried wounds they could not heal, burdens they could not lay down, and mistakes they could not undo. These opened gateways through which darkness gained access, and what was left unresolved has flowed into you. But hear this truth. You are not living under punishment. You are living in prophecy. The attacks that have come against you are evidence that your light is too great to be ignored. Understand this. Heaven saw every battle before you ever took your first breath. The Lord counted every tear, every struggle, every betrayal, every financial loss, every relationship that fell apart. None of it surprised him. None of it went unseen. And because he knew the war before you, he also assigned the victory before you. That is why Michael, the warrior angel, has been dispatched to remind you that the curse is not your identity, but your battleground. You are not the victim of a family cycle. You are the breaker of it. But here lies the secret. What you choose in this season determines what heaven releases. If you respond in fear, the enemy gains ground. If you react with bitterness, the curse finds new ways to breathe. But if you rise in faith, if you cling to stillness, if you hold fast to obedience, then the curse has no more power. Reactions determine breakthrough. Fear feeds the curse, but faith destroys it. And so, I say to you, take courage. You are not under attack because you are weak. You are under attack because you are strong. You are not hunted because you are empty. You are hunted because you are filled. You are not broken. You are chosen. The enemy has stretched his hand against your lineage not to prove your defeat, but because heaven marked your family for greatness. The greater the destiny, the stronger the resistance. So frame this conflict correctly. This is not about shame. This is not about punishment. This is about inheritance. You were born to carry something sacred, and the war you face is proof of what is inside you. Every curse is an announcement of the blessing it tries to blot. Every battle is a shadow of the victory already written. And now, with Michael standing guard, heaven declares, the shadow is lifting, the inheritance is being reclaimed, and the destiny of your bloodline is awakening. Type "My inheritance is redeemed" in the comments if this word resonates in your spirit. Blessing code 7077 is now surrounding you with divine assurance. Hear this with urgency. The enemy does not rest. When heaven prepares to release breakthrough, darkness stirs to resist it. Right now, even as these words fall upon your spirit, there are plots being formed in the shadows. The adversary is waiting, watching for a weak moment, a lapse of faith, a door left slightly open. He longs to creep back into your household, to stir arguments, to ignite confusion, to whisper lies into your ear when you are weary. He waits for the hour when your guard drops. And the Spirit of the Lord says, be vigilant, for within the next 72 hours, something will try to resurface. It may come as an old temptation, dressed in new clothing. It may appear as a familiar argument that reopens old wounds. It may arrive in a dream, unsettling and heavy, filled with symbols you cannot explain. It may show itself as strange resistance, delays, closed doors, conversations that suddenly tremble. These are not random events. They are signals that the spirit realm is moving. Pressure is building because the curse is threatened. The adversary senses that his grip is slipping, and he is desperate to regain control. Have you noticed the heaviness that lingers in your atmosphere? The sudden fatigue when you are about to pray. The wave of doubt when you are about to step into opportunity. These are not ordinary emotions. They are tactics of disruption, designed to wear you down, to make you give in before your victory arrives. The dreams that trouble your sleep, the shadows that move at the edge of your vision, the conversations that seem strangely timed, all of them point to one truth. Spiritual pressure is rising because heaven is near to releasing breakthrough. But do not fear. Warnings are not given to paralyze you. They are given to prepare you. This is not a message of despair, but of strategy. Heaven does not expose the enemy's movement without already sending reinforcement. Michael, the warrior, has already drawn his sword, and the armies of heaven are already positioned. Yet you must not ignore the timing. Within 72 hours, resistance will rise, but within the same 72 hours, protection will surround you if you remain steadfast. So hear this. Silence your reactions. Refuse to retaliate in anger. Resist the urge to speak out of frustration. Watch, pray, and remain guarded. The enemy thrives on emotional openings. Do not hand him a foothold. When the heaviness comes, stand still. When the whispers rise, refuse them. When the strange dreams arrive, cover them in prayer. The battle will show itself, but so will your covering. The Spirit declares, this is not a moment for panic, but a moment for discernment. You are being trained in warfare, elevated in awareness, prepared for inheritance. The resistance is proof of the release. Do not fear what is approaching, for what comes against you has already been outnumbered by what surrounds you. Type "I will not fear" in the comments if you receive this warning with faith. Blessing Ode 6363 is now released as a shield over your next 72 hours. Be still now, for the battle belongs not to you, but to the Lord. The enemy thrives on chaos, thrives on your reactions, thrives on the noise of your emotions. But the word declares, the Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. And in this very moment, Archangel Michael is warring on your behalf. His shield stretches over your household. His sword flashes against every dark spirit that seeks to re-enter your life. You must resist the urge to fight in your own strength, because your silence is not weakness. Your silence is strategy. Do you understand this mystery? Heaven moves in the stillness. The enemy expects you to retaliate, expects you to lash out, expects you to be drawn into his traps of anger, fear, and confusion. But when you hold your peace, when you refuse to speak death into your situation, when you choose to stand in prayer instead of panic, you disarm the curse. Stillness confuses the adversary. Silence dismantles his schemes. Obedience shuts the doors he longs to reopen. You must now guard your atmosphere. In the next days, when tension arises, step back. When gossip surfaces, do not answer. When accusations come, refuse to defend yourself in the flesh. Heaven is watching, and Michael is fighting. Your role is to stay positioned, stay prayerful, stay surrendered. For every moment you withhold reaction, the sword of heaven strikes deeper into the camp of darkness. Every prayer whispered in the quiet becomes a thunderclap in the spirit realm. Every moment of obedience summons angelic reinforcement. Declare this over your household now. My household is sealed. My bloodline is redeemed. My name is protected. Let these words echo in your home, for your tongue carries power to frame your atmosphere. Do not allow words of fear to leave your lips. Do not allow words of defeat to stain your heart. Instead, let declarations of covering and victory saturate your dwelling. Speak blessing over your children. Speak peace over your spouse. Speak redemption over the lineage you carry. For your words are not empty, they are weapons. The Spirit says, do not mistake quietness for passivity. In your silence, angels move. In your stillness, battles shift. In your restraint, victories manifest. You must now trust the process of heaven's warfare. You do not see everything, but heaven has already seen it. You do not know every detail, but heaven has already written the outcome. Your faith is the currency, your obedience the doorway, and your silence the weapon. So, hold your ground. This is not a time to run, not a time to fear, not a time to collapse under the weight of pressure. This is the time to stand still and see the salvation of your God. Michael is fighting. Heaven is watching. The bloodline is being covered. And your destiny is being secured. Type "My household is sealed" in the comments if you receive this protective word. Blessing code 5151 is now activated as your covering. Hear this clearly. You are not what your ancestors endure. You are not the sum of their wounds, their mistakes, or their unfinished battles. What they carried may have reached you, but it will not end with you. The bloodline may have been marked by sorrow, but you are marked by fire. The generations before you may have walked through chains, but you are rising with wings. You were not chosen to inherit defeat. You were chosen to manifest victory. The curse that followed your name was not the prophecy of your end. It was the announcement of your beginning. The Spirit of the Lord says, your identity is shifting. You will no longer see yourself as one crushed under cycles, but as one crowned with authority. The voice of victimhood is silenced. The narrative of weakness is dismantled. What the enemy meant for evil is now being turned for good. The very battles that tried to bury you are the ones birthing your strength. The tears that once seemed wasted are becoming oil poured over your destiny. You are rising not as the broken one, but as the breaker of curses. See this vision. Like an eagle soaring through a storm, you are ascending above the winds that tried to ground you. The storm is real. The lightning flashes, the thunder roars, the clouds press heavy. But the eagle does not fear the storm. It stretches its wings and rides the very winds meant to destroy it. This is you now. The storm that carried the curse will become the wind that lifts you higher. The pressure that tried to break you will become the force that propels you. You are not bound by the identity of failure. You are not tied to the repetition of brokenness. You are a vessel of transformation. Where others saw limitation, heaven sees elevation. Where others spoke of curses, heaven speaks of crowns. Where others declared endings, heaven proclaims beginnings. The light within you is too radiant to be dimmed by what followed your ancestors. You were chosen to reverse the story, to declare a new chapter, to mark your lineage with blessing instead of burden. The Spirit is saying, do not carry shame any longer. Do not carry the labels others have placed upon you. Do not carry the fear that whispers you are next in line for failure. No, you are next in line for freedom. You are next in line for favor. You are next in line for breakthrough. Michael's sword has already struck against the curse, and your name has been pulled from its grip. Rise now in boldness. Speak to yourself, to your family, to your atmosphere. I am not cursed, I am chosen. I am not bound, I am free. I am not broken, I am empowered. Let this confession shape your reality. For what you declare with faith, heaven establishes in truth. The time of weeping is shifting into a time of rising. The mantle of weakness is being replaced with a garment of strength. And you, yes, you, are walking into the fullness of who you were created to be. Type "I am empowered" in the comments if this declaration belongs to you. Blessing code 4848 has now been activated over your spirit. The veil is lifting now. What was hidden in darkness is being exposed in light. For too long, the curse whispered lies, convincing you that your story was bound to end in loss. For too long, it dressed itself as destiny, parading as if it had the final word. But hear the revelation of heaven. The curse was never your inheritance. It was always the enemy's counterfeit. It was a forged document and a legitimate claim, a shadow meant to keep you from seeing the truth. And the truth is this: heaven has written blessing over your bloodline. Heaven has decreed favor over your household. Heaven has recorded victory over your name. The enemy's weapon was deception, convincing you that the curse defined you. But the Lord says, I have already rewritten your story. What looked like a generational chain was only a smoke screen. The reality hidden beneath it was blessing waiting to be revealed. Where the curse said lack, heaven has spoken overflow. Where the curse said broken relationships, heaven has written restoration. Where the curse said failure, heaven has sealed promotion. What the adversary tried to conceal is now being unveiled. You are covered. You are chosen. You are anointed. Listen carefully. This is the unlocking of a new level. This is not just relief from pressure. This is inheritance being released. The Spirit of God declares, what your ancestors longed for but never reached, you shall step into. What was withheld for generations will be poured out upon you. What was blocked will now flow. What was stolen will now return multiplied. Your name is being spoken in heaven's council chambers, not in whispers of defeat, but in proclamations of victory. Angels stand at attention because the Father has called your lineage into remembrance. And here comes the prophecy. Restoration is coming to your household. The brokenness you have endured is becoming the soil for new growth. The empty places in your heart are becoming the altars where oil will flow. The family that has been torn will begin to feel the threads of healing. The finances that were strangled will breathe again. The future that seemed closed will open. You are stepping into a divine covering that no curse can counterfeit. You are walking into a blessing that no shadow can imitate. Lift your head now, for you are not under the curse. You are under the covering of blessing. Lift your voice now, for the chains that tried to define you have been shattered. Lift your faith now, for the prophecy over your life is awakening. This is the moment heaven shifts your story. This is the hour where the hidden truth becomes your revealed inheritance. Type "My blessing is unlocked" in the comments if this prophetic revelation is yours. Blessing code 9292 has now been released into your household. Beloved, as this prophetic revelation pours into your spirit, remember this: every blessing released here flows further when you help us carry the word into other households. Your support is not for us. It is for the souls who will hear freedom because you gave. When you pour into this mission through super thanks, membership, or PayPal link in the description, you are sowing into rivers of living water that will overflow into broken families, lost souls, and weary hearts. The Lord declares, "He who refreshes others will himself be refreshed." I am inviting you now. Let your giving be a prophetic act Do not let this moment pass you by. Sow and watch as the oil of blessing multiplies back upon your bloodline. This is not donation. This is destiny. Act now, and let heaven write your generosity as part of your family's breakthrough story. This is the hour to rise. The blessing has been revealed. The curse has been broken. But now heaven waits for your response. Destiny does not move without agreement. Prophecy does not manifest without alignment. The Spirit of the Lord says, heaven waits for your yes. Your willingness to step into this mantle will determine how far the blessing flows through your household. Do not remain silent. Do not delay. Declare with your mouth, decree with your spirit, and activate with your obedience. You are the chosen vessel to shift your lineage. You are the one called to reverse cycles that lasted for generations. Where others bowed to fear, you will stand in faith. Where others surrendered to chains, you will step into freedom. The curse stopped at you because heaven ordained it so. But now, you must rise and carry the blessing forward. You must activate what has been spoken. You must move from hearing to declaring, from receiving to walking, from revelation to action. Lift your voice now and declare over your household, we are aligned with heaven. We are sealed by the blood. We are covered by Michael's shield. We are redeemed and restored. These are not empty words. They are decrees that establish new foundations in the Spirit. Every declaration you make is a brick in the altar of blessing. Every word of faith you release is a key that unlocks doors for your children and your children's children. This is not just about you. Your obedience echoes forward. When you say yes to God's assignment, the curse breaks not only over your life, but over those yet unborn. The Spirit is speaking. Generations will thank you for the decision you make in this hour. Your family tree will flourish because you refuse to surrender to the shadows. Your bloodline is reversing course because you agreed with heaven. This is the power of generational reversal. One obedient soul can shift the destiny of an entire lineage. And today, that soul is you. Do not underestimate the weight of your agreement. The enemy trembles when you declare, I am aligned with heaven. Darkness loses ground when you say, my household is sealed. Angels move when you whisper, yes, Lord, I receive my assignment. You are not just speaking, you are activating. You are not just praying, you are legislating. You are not just hoping, you are securing. Your yes in the natural shakes foundations in the spiritual. The Spirit of the Lord is commissioning you now. Rise in purpose, not in retreat. Lift your head, for you carry authority. Step forward, for you walk in covering. Live boldly, for heaven's armies surround you. The curse tried to silence your family, but your voice is becoming the trumpet of reversal. The enemy tried to keep your bloodline bound, but your obedience is writing a new chapter. The heavens declare, this is the one who breaks it. This is the one who shifts it. This is the one who carries blessing where there was once only burden. Type ISAYYS in the comments if you receive this activation. Blessing code 3003 is now released into your destiny. Right now, as you hear these words, something is moving beyond what your eyes can see. There is a silent exchange unfolding in the spirit realm, a transaction of power that has been set in motion by your obedience, by your willingness to stand still, by your decision to say why yes. The angels of the Lord are warring over your inheritance. Archangel Michael stands with his sword lifted high, not only defending, but reclaiming what was stolen. There is a shifting in the unseen, a movement of thrones, a realignment of decrees. What once bore the stamp of curse is being rewritten with the seal of blessing. Your tears have been collected, your cries recorded, your pain noted in the archives of heaven. Do not think for a moment that your suffering went unnoticed. Every restless night, every unanswered question, every season of emptiness, all of it has been weighed before the throne. And now, because the time of silence has ended, heaven is responding. Angels are exchanging sorrow for joy, lack for abundance, shame for honor. There is a trading floor in the spirit where the curses of old are being laid down and blessings long withheld are being released. This is why your spirit has felt the stirring before your mind could explain it. You sensed the shift before you understood the reason. You felt the unease, the pressure, the sudden weight pressing against you. It was because the battle was intensifying in the unseen. When heaven draws near to release blessing, the clash of swords resounds louder in the realm you cannot see. But hear me now. You are not losing. You are witnessing the final struggle before victory manifests. Picture this. Michael standing at the gates of your family line, his shield raised like a wall of fire. Behind him, hosts of angels surround your household, their wings stretched, their voices chanting songs of war. Before him, the forces of darkness rage, trying desperately to cling to what is no longer theirs. And in the center, your name glows like a flame, written in the book of remembrance. The enemy points, accuses, demands, but Michael declares, this one is sealed. This household is covered. This inheritance belongs to the Lord. And at that declaration, chains fall in silence, curses dissolve into dust, and your lineage is marked as redeemed. What is happening right now is greater than you know. The silent exchange means that the currency of your suffering is being transformed into the wealth of blessing. The weight of your prayers is being converted into the strength of angelic armies. The whispers of your faith are echoing like thunder in the heavens. You are not fighting alone. You are standing in the middle of a holy courtroom, where the judge of all creation has declared in your favor. Hold this truth close. You are stepping into an inheritance that was delayed, but not denied. What was withheld is now being released. What was stolen is now being returned. And the exchange is already sealed in the spirit. Type the exchange's mine in the comments if you receive this revelation. Blessing code 8228 is now surrounding your inheritance. The scales of heaven are shifting now. What once leaned against you is being balanced, and the judge of eternity has spoken on your behalf. Spiritual justice is in motion, and the decree of divine reversal has been issued. Every word spoken in darkness against your household is being overturned. Every plot written in secret is being scattered. Every curse assigned against your lineage is being returned to its sender. The Spirit of the Lord declares, "The weapons formed may have struck, but they will not prosper. The chains forged may have bound, but they will not endure. The accusations raised may have echoed, but they will not stand." Justice is not delayed, it is active. Even now, heaven's gavel strikes, and the outcome shifts in your favor. The losses you thought were permanent are being restored. The betrayals you endured are being redeemed. The years you thought were wasted are being repaid with interest. What was withheld is returning, not as fragments, but in multiplied form. The God who restores does not return a portion, he returns in fullness. And when heaven restores, it always exceeds. From shame, you are rising into honor. Where you once bowed your head in defeat, you will now lift it in dignity. The very mouths that mocked you will see the blessing upon you. The very eyes that look down on your household will witness the covering of glory. From debt, you are moving into overflow. The curse that drained your resources has been severed, and the heavens are opening streams of provision. The Spirit declares, "The oil shall not run dry. The table shall not lack bread. The blessing shall overflow the walls of your house." Do not be deceived into thinking justice is invisible. Already, unseen forces are aligning. People you do not know are being stirred to favor you. Opportunities you thought closed are being reopened. Doors that were locked tight are being commanded to swing wide. And the enemy who once claimed dominion over your bloodline is watching his grip unravel. Every curse, every shadow, every cycle is collapsing under the weight of reversal. This is the mystery of your moment. What the enemy sent to bury you is becoming the soil for your rising. What was designed as a weapon is being reshaped as a tool for your blessing. The very areas of your life marked by battle will now be the places where testimonies spring forth. Your family story will no longer be remembered for chains, but for crowns. No longer for curses, but for covenant. No longer for failure, but for faithfulness. Lift this truth in your spirit. The verdict is settled. Justice has spoken. The curse has collapsed. And the blessing has been established. You are stepping into the season of divine reversal, where everything the enemy meant for evil is not only undone, but transformed into good. And heaven is not waiting. The reversal begins now. Type "Justice is mine" in the comments if you stand in agreement with this word. Blessing Ode 4141 is now surrounding your justice and restoration. The battle has been waged. The cycle has been broken. The curse has been shattered. Archangel Michael has stood guard over your household, his sword raised, his shield extended, and the line of your blood has been redeemed. What once chained your family is no longer permitted to touch your name. What once claimed dominion over your destiny has been stripped of its power. You are no longer walking under the weight of the old story. You are stepping into the brightness of the new. Hear this as the closing seal of heaven. You are marked, you are covered, you are chosen. The enemy's accusations have been silenced. The ancestral shadows have been dismissed. The doors that were once locked are now swinging open. The blessing that was delayed has been released. The fire of heaven surrounds your household, and the peace of God now rests upon every room, every heart, every generation connected to your name. Your bloodline is redeemed. The curse has ended. The blessing has begun. From this day forward, you will walk not in fear, but in faith, not in sorrow, but in strength, not in defeat, but in divine authority. This is the moment where heaven seals what was spoken. This is the hour where your inheritance is secured. Rise and walk in blessing, for your household is now a testimony of God's power to deliver, redeem, and restore. Type "My bloodline is redeemed" in the comments if you receive this final blessing. Blessing code 1212 is now released to cover you with peace and restoration. Beloved, if this word has spoken life into your spirit and confirmed what heaven is already doing, I invite you to stand with this mission. Together we are not just sharing words, we are breaking chains, reaching families, and carrying light into places still bound by darkness. Every seed you sow through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal link in the description becomes part of heaven's harvests. The Lord declares, "Give, and it shall be given to you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over." Your giving is not an offering to man. It is a prophetic act that unlocks rivers of blessing back into your own household. Do not let this moment pass without sealing your agreement. Rise into partnership, sow into the word, and watch as heaven multiplies it over your bloodline. Act now, for your obedience becomes the testimony your generations will remember.